All right, Red Stick Reefer here out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It has been about a year since I did the first video on this 180 gallon reef build. So it's been a while. Figured I'd do an update. Got all the plumbing done and got some fish and corals in, sump area done. I'll give y'all a tour of all this in a second. So yeah, it's been a year since I did the first video, and it's been almost 3 months since I've had water in this tank. So I got a little bit of algae going on, but fish and corals are doing okay. I'm doing water changes, testing my parameters. I stuck with the 3 XR Radion XR15s for now. I will likely add some of those Reef Bright kits to each light, because essentially this tank is 3 60-gallon cubes, and I rented a par meter, and I'm getting the bottom of the tank, I'm getting about 130 par across the tank, and at the top of the rock there I'm getting about 230 to 240 par. So in my opinion, that's plenty enough par for SPS to grow. I'm not trying to blast this tank with light. I've never blasted any of my other tanks with light and had success. So if anything, I think I'm just going to go ahead and add the Reef Bright kits to each fixture, just to help, not really add more par, but just help to ensure the light is spread maybe a little more evenly throughout the tank. Which kudos to Ecotech, because these G5 XR15s are getting really good spread across the tank, so I was impressed with that. Anyway, got the sump area pretty much done. Plumbing's done. I've got the Inkbird controlling my titanium heater, and really just the Apex is I'm using as a backup. So if the temperature gets too hot in the tank, it'll shut it off. But as far as controlling my heater, the Inkbird is controlling it. Same with the calcium reactor. I'm not using the Apex to, the outlet for the Apex to turn on and off my solenoid for the calcium reactor. The Milwaukee controller does most of the heavy lifting, and in the case that the pH in the tank drops too low, the Apex will go ahead and shut off that outlet, which will kill the solenoid for the calcium reactor. So again, just using it as a backup for that. I think we talked about in the last video, I did get the Ecotech pump. It's the large pump. I think it's the L2. Got the Apex ATK. Really loving this. I love the Tunzi. I've used the Tunzi osmolator for years, but I'm very impressed by this Apex auto top off. The pump is super quiet, and just the smart features that they have built in, even without the use of connecting it to the Apex unit itself. Just the smart features that they have built into this little brain controller, it's unbelievable. It's really nice. So yeah, and I've got the programming in the Fusion, Neptune Apex Fusion, for things that just, I can turn off my, I've never had a controller on the tank, so that's why, if I'm sounding super impressed, that's why. Turn off the calcium reactor. I've got a reef maintenance mode where if I turn that off, it'll turn several things off at the same time, like calcium reactor and skimmer and auto top off, and so when I'm taking water out of the tank, it's not going. But that the smart brain technology or whatever they have in this ATK really helps with that anyway. It's not like a Tunzi where it just as soon as the water level drops, it kicks on. So it's kind of hard for me to explain, but it's very nice. But also I have the Apex connected with Alexa, so that's cool. If my hands are wet or anything of that nature, I can just ask Alexa to turn off things, turn on things. Like, okay, for example, if I want to turn off the skimmer, I can say, Alexa, tell Apex Fusion to turn off the skimmer. And she'll do it. So really love that feature. I forget what it's called in the Fusion software, but it's voice command through Alexa, and it's really nice. If you're fragging, your hands are slimy, you're covered in super glue, you don't want to, you can't operate your phone to turn on and off things. It's nice to just have that voice command to be able to tell her to do things. My sump really needs to be cleaned up, but in the overflow I have just one of those cups from Marine Depot with filter floss and a little bag of carbon. You can see some of the carbon spilled down in below the cup. Let's see, got all the probes there. Got the calcium reactor dripping. I'm not dosing anything yet, but the dosing tubes are there on the sump. Calcium reactor, I removed one of them to put the calcium reactor drip in there. Wanted to go with the carbon doser regulator, but with this build I tried to save money where I could, spend where I needed. That's one of the things I cut out of the budget. Didn't go with the carbon doser, but this Milwaukee regulator works just fine for me. I removed the bubble glass because I've got the bubble glass right here on the reactor, so I don't really need two of them. But yeah, as long as you take that knob off the first time you open the tank and don't blow out your gauges, it works great, which I've done in years past. I've blown out at least two of these gauges before I even ever got a chance to use them. So anyway, everything's looking good. Got the light ballasts or the power strips, just Velcroed with the industrial strength Velcro up at the top. And I got this cheap LED strip on Amazon. I want to say it was $13. I don't know. It was really cheap, but it's wireless. And it came with a little app on the phone that I can change the colors to all kind of crazy colors, or just have it white like I have now. And it's not super bright, but you can see it gives me enough light down here to be able to see what I'm doing and not have to go grab a flashlight. If I'm doing something really focused down in a dark, deep corner or something, yeah, I'll need a flashlight, but for the most part, just everyday maintenance or having to fix something or change something, it does a great job. It's a good light. Let's go up top. Part of the Neptune Apex, I got this little cheap Windows tablet, so I can see all my parameters and turn on and off equipment and that sort of thing. Just another option, another toy, I guess. I can use this tablet, I can use my phone, or I can tell Alexa to do certain things for me.
I don't know that.
She heard me say her name. But anyway, so again, right now the power heads is another place I kind of saved money. I I didn't get the gyres or vortex or anything like that. Right now it's just two of these cheap Jabo power heads, which I said I would never buy again because they just, no matter what you do, they just tend to crap out within a year. But again, trying to save a little money here, I threw them in there, and they're actually really good. They make really good flow. They put out really good flow. So if anything, I may put one more on this side across from this one at the top. But I mean, the water's ripping through there. I mean, you can see on this. On this red planet, it switched lenses on me. But even on the back side of the rock with the pumps facing the other way, those polyps are whipping back and forth. So I guess we can start with, we can do some, see what corals, I can tell you what corals I've added so far. There's a Lamarck Angel I've added. These corals have been in, so I said it's had water in the tank around almost 3 months. These corals just went in. They've only been in the tank for a week. So starting at the bottom right, we have the green goblin, Anacropora, the Setosa. We've got a red planet. Got the Tyree, Pinky the bear. Jason Fox, Fox Flame. That coral in the back is really sweet. It's by Coral Cove, guy Jeremy Rodriguez out of New Orleans area, Houma, New Orleans, Louisiana area. It's a true grafted stag. It's a nice blue, green, yellow polyps. To me, it looks like a Mardi Gras. It's a really cool Louisiana coral. But yeah, that's the swamp graft stag from Coral Cove. And I've got daylights on, but that sucker really pops. It's one of the nicest stags I've ever seen. This can I just put in out of my frag tank. It's lost all its color in the frag tank, but that is Sniper's Mr. Pac-Man. This is just a Favia I picked up from a local reef shop, Aqua Hut. Shout out to John and his wife CJ. That is the Frag House Corals Lemon Lime Time. That is a PC Rainbow in the back. Again, that was another one that came from my frag tank, so it doesn't have much color to it, but that is the Worldwide Corals Yellow Tips. The famous Purple Bonsai. Everybody's got to have some Purple Bonsai. That is the PC Superman table. This one was kind of the only one that showed a little bit of ill effect, and the PC Rainbow a little bit too, but Jeremy keeps his alk at around 7.5. Mine's at about 9.5, so I did get a little bit of burnt tips the second day after I put these acros in the tank. So some burnt tips just from the spike in alkalinity. But like I said, they've been in here a week. It hasn't gotten any worse. All the polyps are out on all these frags, so everything's been doing good for the week that they've been here. So I think they'll start to recover and eventually start encrusting and doing their thing. This was a really, really nice coral. I think it's a granulosa, but it's from Southern Reef Keepers, Appleberry Acro. And this one I'm sure everybody's heard of at this point. It's the Home Wrecker. Super nice acro. It was very colored up in Jeremy's tank. Under these daylight lightings with this filter, you can't really see the beautiful colors in it. at the moment, but that's a really beautiful acro. Oh, a little piece of the Aqua SD Rainbow Millie. That is just a maze brain, a green and purple platygyra that I've had in my frag tank for probably 2 years. And oh yeah, we got this guy back here. We got the champagne coolers again. It's faded from being in my little 30-gallon frag tank, but it's gonna come back, start encrusting, doing its thing. So let's talk about some of the fish. So that is my Mocha Storm clownfish. Got a Royal Gromma. Got a couple of damsels. Got the Lamarck Angel I showed you earlier. And the Tamini Tang. Now he's being camera shy, but I know he's been in the video. Yeah, he's peeking out. I don't think he cares for me pointing this phone camera at him too much. But the Tamini Tang has only been in the tank for 3 days, and he's doing really good, eating well. He's a small guy, but doing good. The other fish tried to give him some crap when I introduced him into the tank, but for his size, he let them know what was up. A few tail whips, and they started leaving him alone. So him and the Angel still size each other up from time to time, but no real fighting that I've seen. So yeah, they just kind of size each other up from time to time and then go about their business. But this video is almost 20 minutes, so we're getting to the 18-minute mark. But I think that's it. Oh yeah, and we got the Starry Blenny. Can't forget about Benny the Blenny. But that's all the fish that are in here. So again, just trying to keep this algae down. I'm not using any Phosguard or Phosban or anything like that, any kind of GFO. Just good amount of flow, some carbon, filter floss, skimmer, and water changes. I'm doing weekly water changes, about 10 gallons, not much, but 10 gallons a week has been doing the trick so far. But I guess I will let y'all go here. So anyway, that's the update, the 1 year update on the 180 gallon reef tank. See y'all later.